The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of bad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throbbing my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty.
Earnestly Speaking podcast, coming to you, what is it, June 22nd, 2025. Special birthday shout-outs, number one, to my sister yesterday, who just turned, I'm not going to say her age, because it's not, I don't want to do that to her. I love you, sis, number one. Also, another shout-out also to our good friend, Lauren, who I call Luscious, though. That's the name we had for about 20 years now. She turns something as well, too. I know the age, but I'm not going to say it. We are doing, I think, a shadow show. What a shadow show is that you can hear me, but you can't see me. Actually, if I do this real quick, there you go. See me? But I hate this angle. I hate this angle because I am doing this podcast from my iPad. And by the way, you see all this bullshit in my closet, in my studio here. You know, my hangers and my clothes on the side. So we ain't doing that. That's unprofessional as fuck. The reason why we're doing this show like this today, and probably for the foreseeable future, until I get my shit working out, is that my MacBook, after 15 years, my MacBook has finally taken the shitter. And that's why I plug all my microphones and my mixer through. And as a result, my MacBook has now died after 15 years of life. I'm going to miss you, bastard. I got to say, this was a long time coming anyway. The performance of things has been great, but you know me. Not that I'm cheap, but I'm cheap. You know, I don't want to spend money unless I have to. And now I have to spend money now, unfortunately, on your computer very soon, which we'll get that taken care of within the next couple of weeks. I got to find out exactly what computer I need to make this work as a whole. I'm likely not getting an Apple this time around because Apples are too damn expensive as is. Hey, look, see me again. Look at that. Hi. Anyway, they're very expensive as hell. Does that make any sense? No. MacBooks are expensive as hell. So therefore, I don't want to spend another over $1,000 on a laptop, especially for a laptop that I'm only using solely for the podcast. And not only that, you know, if I can get a laptop that can do literally, or a computer that can do literally the same thing I'm doing for a lot cheaper, I'm going to do that. You know, I'm not trying to spend money like that. So, but anyway, that's what's going on here with that. Unfortunately, like I said, that is dead. Very sad time. That MacBook has lasted my entire marriage. It's lasted my entire time as a father. This thing has preceded a lot of things. I was 30 years old when I got this MacBook. It has been good to me for 15 years, but now it's taking a shitter. I even tried turning it on. It did not work. I actually recorded a new retrospective podcast. The last episode we just did on this feed on Friday night, doing the same thing I'm doing here. But I did it on video with Rob, the genius, of course, our good friend. Unfortunately, I hate the angle. You know what I'm saying? Watch. Again, same angle. See? I hate it. I'm here, stuck in the studio, stuck in my closet. And I mean, I can do this, but the iPad is not, you know, it's not giving my best angle. You know, come on, man. You know, I don't want to do that. So a little behind the scenes here on the show, and to see some of the stuff goes on here in my home. You know, but okay, I'm going away. Bye bye. Yeah. All right. Anyway, couple things to get to in the show today. Number one, haven't been able to do a solo podcast in quite a while, in about 2 weeks. For a lot of reasons. Number one, I've been very busy. But number two, I've been sick the last week. I did the show on Friday with Rob, but even you hear me coughing in that episode too. Also, and I'm pretty much 80%, 85% better. I just guess I'm coughing. This cough won't go away. And then I've been busy with the family. Work schedule's been, very busy actually. I've been busy. I've been living life. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. However, a lot of things have happened. Today, things happened. For example, Kevin Durant officially traded to the Houston Rockets. Here's the details of that trade. Actually, KD to the Rockets. The Phoenix Suns will receive Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 pick in the upcoming draft, which is this week. And then, which actually was originally on pick, and then 5 second-round draft picks. Wow. Here's my thing, and obviously this is a good move for the Rockets. Kevin Durant still a top 15 player in the league. Still averaged 27 a game last year. Still a really, really great player. Just wants to play ball. He's no nonsense. He's not someone that he has a hard time fitting in. For all the talk about Kevin Durant about being this guy and he's not LeBron. He's not the leader. He don't give a shit about that kind of stuff, man. He wants to play basketball. That's all he cares about. For all the talk about that, I still don't know if this move actually moves the needle. I don't know, because the problem is Houston, yes, the number 2 seed. Yes, they got a fantastic coach in Ime Udoka. I'm not doubting that at all. But there's a lot of things that go with that. I don't know if this move makes them as good as OKC. I don't think it does. I don't know if this move makes them as good as Denver. I still take Denver in the same game series. Minnesota, maybe. I mean, who else in the Western Conference? The Clippers? I don't know. I think Houston. Now, if we were to believe that these players, the Van Vliets of the world, and Jalen Green. By the way, I was not big on Jalen Green. I told you all Jalen Green is nothing but a black hole of a shooter, and that's all he is. Dylan Brooks, I would like to have kept him for the sake of defense and that kind of thing. He had played very well there in Houston these last 2 years. But I would like to see him stay there. Having said all that, I think Houston is a player in the Western Conference. I'll say that. But are they on level with OKC and the top dogs? No, I don't think they are. And that's little Kevin Durant. I know Kevin Durant can add a lot to that team, but I just don't know if that's what you're going to get out of Durant moving forward. So I look, it's a trade they need to make. Houston has a window here to win a title or to try to get the title. OKC, they look very vulnerable in these finals, but it doesn't mean they're still gonna be a really great team for years to come with that core. Denver may have another year or two the window they have currently now, maybe 1 year, depending on these pieces they have. But KD's gone. KD's now officially a Houston Rocket. Now, there's another report came out today too that said the Phoenix Suns are trying to move off Bradley Beal. No one's touching Bradley Beal, bro. Hey, break to you. Bradley Beal is stuck, and not because of the contract, because of that no trade clause. Okay, nobody wants to touch that no trade clause. Okay, and that's the one thing. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know how he sort of Washington to do that, but I didn't Washington got out of that contract, which is I think genius alone in itself. But it is what it is, man. We said already before the playoffs started, before that this offseason is gonna be among the most active we've ever seen, and not just because of free agency, mostly because of trades, and we see one already. Kevin Durant, we knew was getting traded from Phoenix. It was a matter of when and where. Obviously, as a Heat fan, I wanted him here in Miami, but of course, what reports are coming now is that the Heat did not want to move off of the young core of Khalil Ware and Jaime Jaquez, which, I guess I agree with that, because even if you don't keep these guys long term, they are still future trade assets for a guy who's 37 years old and your window is literally a year, 2 years for this guy, maybe max. And I think also on top of that, um, I think Miami and Pat Riley might have finally figured out where they are as a franchise, and that we are rebuilding. We are probably rebuilding the right way. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's not. It's so anti Pat Riley. Pat Riley likes to get a whale. But if Durant's gone and Giannis is probably staying in Milwaukee, then I don't see what other wheel can you get. I don't want them to stretch for John Morant. I don't want them to stretch for Trey Young. If they get him, fine. It depends what they give up for them. But you know, I don't know. Miami is stuck. They are stuck. So anyway, what else this week happened I missed? The Lakers sold. The Bucks family sold the Lakers for $10 billion. $10 billion this week. The Lakers were bought by Mark Walter, the CEO of Guggenheim Partners and co-owner of the LA Dodgers, and a deal that valued the team at $10 billion. While the Bucks family, who has owned the team since 1979, will still retain a minority stake. Mark Walters will now officially assume majority ownership. Jeannie Buss, the owner, the now ex-owner, is expected to remain involved as the team's governor/owner. By the way, I hate that shit, governor or whatever. It's the owner, okay? Stop. I know people are like, oh, well, we need new words for this stuff. Stop. Please stop. Please stop. I'm shocked. Although there have been rumors for a little while that Lakers will pretty much could be for sale. The first thing I saw when I saw this come down the pike was that how is Jerry gonna feel about it? Jerry's now been passed away now 14 years now. How would he feel about this? Because on one hand, he loved this team more than life itself. This team was his world. Family-owned business, the whole nine. On the other hand, though, his daughter, who he entrusted his team, made $10 billion off this deal, which is the biggest sale in the history of pro sports. Which means if $10 billion to the Lakers, how much Dallas Cowboys are going to be worth in the NFL? If Jerry Jones were to actually sell this team, how much should the Cowboys be sold for? $15-20 billion? Come on now. I am still shocked by this move, but at the same time, whether that's right or wrong is not my choice. I will say at least it's being bought by a guy who is one from the area. Some area, like he owns the Dodgers, so it's local. So you can expect, based on these optics, that it will still be very Lakers centric in terms of the decisions they make moving forward. So I kind of like that move. So if you're a Laker fan, I think it's a good thing. So well, $10 billion is a lot, but hey, it's the Lakers too also. All right. Another thing I missed also too last week. Aaron Rodgers signed officially with the Steelers a 1-year deal at $13 million for one season. Let me ask Gemini or ChatGPT. Get the official word on that. What was Aaron Rodgers' contract with the Steelers? Let's see what it says here. So yeah,
Aaron
13.
Rodgers recently signed a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This contract is reportedly worth $13.65 million, with
There you
$10
go.
million guaranteed.
He can earn up to $19.5 million if he hits all incentives, includes play time and team performance bonuses. For instance, he can earn additional money for making the playoffs, winning a divisional round game, reaching AFC Championship game, winning the Super Bowl, winning the MVP award. These incentives are largely contingent on him playing at least 7% of the Steelers' offensive snaps. Look, we told you guys that it was either Rodgers going to Steelers or retiring. Those were his options. I hated the way that he waited this long to do this, though. Having said that, though, that is a reality. The Steelers, what is the ceiling here? The ceiling for the Steelers here is, if you believe that Aaron Rodgers can get back to the same guy he was, say, I don't know, 2022, then this team can play, I would say, in my opinion, is probably a second-round playoff team. The problem is in the AFC is wide open, but it's hard. Okay, you have to get through the Chiefs still. You have to get through the Bills. You have to get through the Bengals are back now. You have to get through the Ravens, obviously. And that's just a division right there. The Ravens and the Bengals alone. The Chargers are coming. The Broncos are coming. Uh, Houston Texans should be better this year after a kind of a weird second year for C.J. Stroud. That's the problem. Having said that, Mike Tomlin's won 10 games last year, and every year seems like now for the last couple of years, 9 10 games a year, with in a post Big Ben Roethlisberger era, with some of the shittiest quarterback playing we've seen in known to memory. Now last year, Russell Wilson was pretty good for a little while, but then he fell apart. Just the Fields wasn't that great last year either too. So whatever. So if you can embolden and embed Aaron Rodgers into this culture, this is his last shot. This is his last shot. He's probably retiring this year regardless. Who knows? But if Aaron Rodgers wants to compete and play beyond this year, this is it for him. So you're going to get probably a fairly motivated guy. Okay? So I would say their ceiling can stretch as much as the AFC title game, can stretch as much as the Super Bowl, because I believe in the Steelers organization, because they're stable. But the thing is, are we getting Aaron Rodgers that is focused and number one, healthy, first off? Now he did play all 6 games last year. That's good. Healthy, number one. Number two, focused and in line with the Steelers culture. If so, you got a shot here. And I will say, in events also too, like unlike playing in New York was flashy and this and that and pressure, and the Jets was cursed beyond all hell. The Steelers, I know the Packers don't have the Packers have, they're owned by the fans, but the Packers do have a sense of stability with them in structure. The Steelers also have the same thing. I think that will do Rodgers good. That is why I think I'm a little more positive than negative about this move, because number one, Aaron Rodgers can still flick the fucking ball as good as anybody else in this league. Let's be real about that. Aaron Rodgers can still throw the fucking ball as great as anybody in this league. Okay. The question is, can he move number one? Which last year you saw didn't move that great, but the line played well for him. Be good. You got DK Metcalf down as receiving core. It's still a really good Steelers roster. Look, I'm not gonna sit there and say going to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to go sit there and say the Super Bowl contenders, but are they playoff contenders? Absolutely. Because they made the playoffs with Mason fucking Rudolph. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give them a good shot to make the playoffs and to win the playoff game next year. But beyond that, it's a crapshoot. So, all right. One last thing we got here. I want to go to the top 5. So, Metallica, I've been on the Metallica kick the last couple of weeks again. Obviously, saw them in concert literally 2 weeks from today. Today. Phenomenal show. Took my kids there. They had a great time. You know what? Let me show myself here a little bit. Yeah, you can see me again now. And they put out the re-release of Load, actually, a remastered version of Load. I mean, screw this angle again. They put out a remaster of Load recently. I think it was a week and a half ago. They put like a whole deluxe box set of all the footage in the studio, some live shows, concerts, a big rollout, for the 20th anniversary. By the way, I'm gonna say it again, like I said last on the podcast. I don't know why they did this. Didn't wait till next year to do this. It's been 30 years. Okay. Anyway, Load obviously is Metallica's most. Well, I say most, maybe second most now, because Saint Anger is pretty much the most controversial one. Load was at the time at release the most controversial Metallica album ever, because they cut their hair, the music got more alternative, they did more blues and country based stuff on the record. You guys know how about Load. I'm a Load junkie. I became a fan that same year before the album came out. It's my second album. It's my second favorite album, Metallica as a whole. It's great. I think it's very underrated. And to be honest with you, as you get older, that album actually ages well. The older we get. So I decided, because it is Load season for Metallica fans and the remaster, I'm going to give you my top 5. My top 5 songs on the Load album in order. Number 5, the opening track, Ain't My Bitch. Can't hear my calls, can't hear my call, ain't my bitch. Hetfield, to me, this album is really where James Hetfield's signature voice, the growls, the all that. Even though you heard it on the Black album, you heard a little bit of like even tinge of that in Justice for All. The Load albums really get the true James Hetfield experience in terms of the vocals and all that stuff, and who he ends up becoming for the next 20 or 30 years. So, Ain't My Bitch kicks off the album heavy. I love the sonics in it. It's a very bottom album, a song rather. Great song. Number 4, track 3, The House Jack Built. The House Jack Built, rather. One of the more deeper cuts of Metallica in general, and this album, but another great song. I love this. For a long time, this was my favorite song on the album. When the album first came out in '96, I played this song probably more than any others on this album. Number 3, 2x4, track number 2. This song has a nice swing to it. Again, very different from old stuff. You know, track 2. This is a different album from Metallica that you heard in many years. Again, I love the swing. It's great. Lars shines in this album on the song, especially too. I do like it a lot. Number 2, second favorite song on the album, The Outlaw Torn. And by the way, as great as this song is, the version on S&M, on both, well, S&M 1 and 2 actually, with the symphony, amazing. Because the song is so laid out and spacious, and there's so much, it's like a jam feel to it also too. This song to me has aged so well. I just love the vibe of the song. It's like you really see the 4 guys like on this record and on this song especially too, the musicianship of these guys. How all 4 guys, this jamming. It really, it's the last song on the album, so it really gives you the vibe of what this album really is. This song was pretty much the symbol of what Load really is. This song, in my opinion. But number 1 song for me on the album. It's actually I consider Metallica's most underrated track. Number 1. Number 2, it is in my top 10 favorite Metallica songs of all time, and that is "Bleeding Me." "Bleeding Me" is an amazing record. The lyrics are amazing. There's a lyric on there, and he goes like, "You make me stand the clock and feel right down behind the wheel. Time to down on my side. So now I wait my whole lifetime." No, that's the wrong song. That's not on torn. I apologize. What was the song? What was the lyric I was thinking about? I'm sorry. I'm really my throat is really bugging me now. I should be doing the podcast in general. What was the song on there that the lyric on there? Let me look at it real quick. So the lyric that got to me on this album was "The stone on my side is from the tree. The stone on my side is from the tree I planted. Ooh, it tears me and I bleed." And then they have the chorus: "Caught on the wheels roll. I took a leap. I'm bleeding me. Can't stop to save my soul. I take a leash that's bleeding me. I'm bleeding me. Caught on the wheels roll." James Hetfield, to me, like he's always been a great songwriter, but on this album especially too, he really. There's a lot of coded language in this album too, which really stood out. And some of the things he says in this album, I don't know what the fuck he's saying because it's like, huh? And you have to kind of. It's kind of like one of those things where the lyrics on this album, especially on this song, could mean many things. So like I said, I love this record. I wish they put out the remaster or the re-release next year. Because it makes more sense in 30 years. But yeah, my top 5, like I said, "Ain't My Bitch," "The House Jack Built," 2x4, "The Outlaw Torn," and "Bleeding Me" are my top 5, EJ's top 5 Load songs. All right, that's it for me. We're recording this literally at 5 o'clock, 5:19 p.m. 3 hours shy of Game 7 tonight of the NBA Finals. I have OKC winning tonight in a blowout, but we'll see what happens there. It should be a great game. Anyway, I'm on Twitter /X at EJ Christian 7. I am on, of course, the podcast page on YouTube at Earnestly Pod, on TikTok, Earnestly Pod, IG, Instagram at Earnestly Pod. Until the next episode of the show, as I get better, hopefully get my new computer soon and have my studio stuff again. But until then, you'll be hearing me on this show talking through my damn iPad. So that's what it is. All right, guys. Love y'all. Take care. Until next one.